permanent in the gardens of Clarence Building, window in brush, I was fair a few feet of Chancellor Angela Merkel of Germany and Main Secretary Alexis Tsipras of Greece. Hiding neighboring was UK Main Secretary Theresa May, her new Overseas Secretariat, and a flock of some office ministers. The Polish Main Secretary, Mateusz Morawiecki, was fair over me. And mixing in the mob were some main ministers of the West Balkans in their own ministers and ambassadors. The Duke of Wales, our army, was constantly work the kindergarten, a peaceful speech there, a jest down there. Officials, diplomatic corps and a single reporter, me, done up the otherwise of the numbers. The sun was immersion in the western, the London traffic a remote uproar and all seemed so in the planet. No, I wish to speak you on the admission, one how noted the end of the West Balkans Summit Conference in London, for which happened following. For the Duke of Wales later stepped up to a little dais and began to offer a speaking. I anticipated the normal pleasantries and generalities. I could not include been more than incorrect. And considerably he tell of the cardiac, quoting his own expertise next the assassination of his large gaffer, Lord Mountbatten, at the hands of the IRA in August 1979. Conciliation is not just a theoretic abstraction conception, he told. It is, of year, a question of pragmatic, hard activity, morbid option, and difficult, but significant, trade-off. Accuse, mistrust and hate are nature, instinctual responding to many decades, though centuries, of dispute and inequity, but they do not assist us to changing year. How requires the very hard industry of pardon, insight or, if I may say so, terrible bravery and educated management. I aware the, since really almost 40 years back, my large gaffer, Lord Mountbatten, was killed in a horrible bombshell assault, always with how fatal date, I include been established to conduct the length, difficult way to steady conciliation. We can, of year, never overlook the wrongs of the history, that must ever report the option we do on the next. But they cannot be permitted to range our horizons or to restrain the prospect to that next generations strive. He told significant conciliation in the West Balkans was the just way of enabling how the area's family did not suffer the agonies of the generations up them. Lot advance has been done in the consider above latter year, he told, yet lot more than as necessary to be made. It was a strong and efficient speaking. And it affected me how maybe there, on the grass, as the warmth of the day slow scattered, I had seen a little sample of which UK overseas politics could be following Brexit. The by the government now espouses which it telephone call a world Britain overseas politics. There was a sentence intended to persuade the planet how Brexit would not indicate Britain withdrawing of the planet. But few complained to aware which it tool in experience. It has been sacked as a motto in chase of a politics. Yet at the admission we had an sample of several things how Britain can give to the side. At first, the UK has powerful convocation force, the capacity to give all these leaders along. Who else but the Duke of Wales could convince Angela Merkel's office space how she should expend else time of her day in the UK at a admission such as the? Who else could class a team of heads of by the government on conciliation but a next king who had incurred individually of the abuse of dispute? Down there was a hard communication there, the 6 Balkan leaders necessary to do more than other political communities say breezily of UK values, but there, at the admission and the summit conference, was the UK calling 6 comparatively new nations to hug the importance of the guideline of act, the significance of judiciary, the prosper how can go of sustainability, the advantages of multilateralism and so on. We frequently assume these are everywhere recognized, they are no. Tertiary, though was overseas politics in actual end. Hot speech and common cold drinks might audio at the fluffier end of public diplomacy, but it is in the straight UK domestic concern for the West Balkans to stay steady. Components of the area are divided in ethnical stress, lot of the governments are poor, and corrupt practices and organized criminality is widespread. It is not fair how the UK and the otherwise of Europe desire to hinder a reiterate of the discord how tore the area separately in the 1990s. down there is as well a risk nearer to household. Lot of the drugs and arms how are utilized on Britain's gateway occur in the West Balkans. Currently, we should not exaggerate all the Duke of Wales is not on to be our in fact overseas secretariat. And if World Britain is to indicate whatever, later by the government will include to ensure answers to the big overseas politics questions of the year, the UK's next relation to a politically volatile Europe, and freelance-minded joint state, a growing China, the problem of world migrating and Islamic terror and so on. But maybe there on the grass, in the intoxicating summer of sport successful and policy ambiguity, down there was a little cameo productivity of which one day UK overseas politics could be.